This is a video about some human rights postcards that have been made by BIHR, Warrington Speak Up and Photosymbols. In this video we'll tell you about the postcards, how they were made and what it was like to make them. First up, it's me, Annie, telling you what this project was about. Hi, my name's Annie and I'm a Human Rights Officer at the British Institute of Human Rights. For the past few months I've been working with Warrington Speak Up, which is an independent advocacy organisation in the northwest of England. So I've been working with advocates and self-advocates who are there. This project has been part of BIHR's community programme, where we have joined up with 4 community organisations all across the UK to co-produce a human rights solution, whatever that means to that particular group and to the people that they support. With Warrington Speak Up, the solution that they identified was for their self-advocates, and it was to make some accessible postcards, some physical postcards about some of the rights that they have and the rights that are most important for people with learning disabilities. This has also involved working with Photosymbols, who produce images for easy read materials, and we've been working with them to make some new images about human rights. In terms of the process, we started out with me and Pip, who's one of the advocates at Warrington Speak Up, talking to the group of self-advocates about their rights, what rights they have, how they work, how they're relevant to them, to help them to be able to recognise where their rights are relevant or at risk, and to talk about their rights to other people, including to staff in public services, for example. And then once the group knew about their rights, we then had to think all together about where rights have been important in their lives, and then the group came up with loads of ideas about what they want the postcards to say, what stories should be in them, and what the new human rights Photosymbols images should look like. And then I made those, we've tested them with that group and then with a bigger group of self-advocates in the northwest of England, and now we're ready to share the final version with everyone. Now we'll show you a couple of the postcards which explain what they are about. These postcards tell you about 5 rights: the right to life, the right to be safe from serious harm, the right to liberty, the right to respect for private and family life, and the right to be treated fairly. The postcards explain what each right means and how it works. There is one story about someone's rights being looked after. There is one story about someone's rights not being looked after. These stories could make you feel sad or angry. Now we're going to hear from some of the self-advocates at Warrington Speak Up who helped to make the postcards. First up, they're going to share what they think about them.
I think they're perfect and good and clever.
It is brilliant.
Good. They're very good.
Really?
The postcards are great because when you go out, you can take one with you and show them that you've got rights as well.
Now the self-advocates will share what it was like to make the postcards and the images.
We had some topics and we had to think of pictures that would go well with them, so we were there for quite some time looking at what there is out there and trying to work out which one would be best for the words.
I like to know how I say.
It was a good idea.
I got through some pictures. Learning things. I'm really proud that we designed the photographs because it tells you about the human rights.
The project was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. Annie listened to me, listened to my ideas.
Finally, the self-advocates are going to talk about how they think the postcards will help them and other people.
Help me to learn the rights.
As people understand and more improving a bit more.
Learning things better now and easy to people. I understand my rights better now.
I think the human rights postcard will help people have their rights.
And now we're going to hear from two of the actors at Photosymbols who helped to make the new human rights images.
Well, having human rights is something to think about. Yes, it is important for disability people, and of course, seeing myself on there is nice to be on there.
It gives it a sort of feel of for us, by us.
Just letting people out there that it doesn't matter who you are. The people who've got disability out there, you deserve a lot of respect.
Now we'll hear from Pip, who works at Warrington Speak Up, talking about where the idea for the postcards came from.
When we chatted with the group, the Speak Up group, they were really clear that whatever was created should be something physical that they could hold and very visual, so that they'd got kind of prompts and reminders and clues of what this information was about. So we played around with a book, a leaflet, flyers, and postcards was the thing that they felt would be most helpful, easy to use, easy to go back to and use again and again, and easy to share with other people. So yeah, the idea came from the group, and we just followed it through. We pursued that.
Next, Pip is going to talk about what it was like to help the group to make the postcards.
It's been an absolute pleasure to work with the group. I think in particular the group loved working on the images for Photosymbols. They're incredibly proud of the fact that they have, what they had to say helped to make some Photosymbols that anybody and everybody will use and will make a difference. So I think even if we'd only created those images for the Photosymbols library, the group would be really proud of what they've done and feel that they'd made a difference. But actually the information and the stories that are on the postcards, I think, have really helped remind the group of their human rights, and that's big. That's really big, that they feel more confident about their human rights and happier to talk about human rights going forward.
Pip's going to talk next about how they hope the postcards will be used.
So we hope that the postcards will be used by self-advocates up and down the country. We hope that the easy read information and the fact that they can have a physical thing to hold, to get those out in people's homes, to have them shared, we think it'll make a difference to people and help people to know that they have an absolute right to challenge things that might be happening to them, that they've already got a sense doesn't feel right and doesn't feel good, but knowing that you have a right to challenge that is a big deal. And so if it gives, anybody the confidence to challenge something that's not right for them, then I think all of us at Warrington Speak Up will be hugely proud of what we've achieved.
Finally, Pip is going to talk about her favourite thing about this project.
I think my favourite thing about working on the project to create the resource was that sense of being part of something bigger. In Warrington, the group are used to chatting to services, health, social care, transports, etc., and being part of making a change on a bigger scale than just immediately for them. But the fact that this is something that will be used across the country and applies to everybody, that's just enormous, really. I feel proud of the group. I feel proud of watching them grow, watching their confidence and their self-belief grow as they were listened to in the process. genuinely that back and to happened, true, co-production, true listening, that you can't underestimate the value of that, and hopefully it can change lives.
We are all really happy to be able to share these postcards with you. You can download the full pack of 13 postcards for free from BIHR's website at www.bihr.org.uk/human rights postcards. And we have a number of packs that we can post to self-advocacy groups as well. Thank you for watching.